Hi, friends. Chris Kelly here. It is midweek, and it's time to look at, what's going on in this late summer real estate market. We'll jump right into that, and we'll talk a little bit about our picnic event. I'll say up front, it was spectacular. And then we had weather. So I'll come back to that in a bit. Let's dive into important stuff here. All right. So, last week was kind of a bit of an anomalous dip, if you will. We saw this giant dip in sold sales, which, really would have been a product of what happened 4 to 6 weeks ago. But then it sprung right back. So you can see, this number went down 35 or 40% last week and back up this week. So, new listings they remain down week over week versus this time last year. So that's new listings coming to the market. And I want to make sure that I clarify or make this distinction. New listings, when I talk about that in terms of looking at this graphic, it's new listings that happened in the last week. That's different than listing inventory. So if 500 new listings are happening a week, but there's only 200 sales a week, listing inventory is going to keep getting larger. If 500 sales are happening or 500 new homes are coming to market and 600 of them are selling, inventory is going to shrink. And that's largely what happened in 2021 and into 22 is our inventory was being sucked up as fast or faster than it was coming to market. And so the listing inventory in months kept getting smaller and smaller, down to like 0.7 in some months. Listing inventory now in terms of months is up just under 3 or just over 3. It's been hovering right around 3. So, historically, that's still very much seller's market territory and very much, low inventory, but it's not low compared to what we've had the last few years. It's kind of been in that 2.5 month range for a while. So I'm going to skip back to this. So when I talk about these numbers, that's what happened this week versus this week last year and so on. Same with pending sales and obviously sales that closed. Again, the median days on the market, they have sort of flattened, but this number's crept up. And you can see in 21, it was 6 days and but it's 15 and 13 and 18. So the median hasn't moved dramatically since the market slowed initially in 2022. The average has crept up. And that makes sense because, you get some houses that are on the market 250 days. And if you have a couple more of those, even it screws up the averages. And that's kind of what happens. And that's why it's so important to look at the median and average together and see, are they moving together or is one moving at a different pace than the other? That is why we do that. Same thing with sales price or average and median sales price. Again, you can see it remains fairly flat. Even for the last 4 years. It's dropped a little this week of this year, but not significantly. So really nothing terribly dramatic there. But like I said, if you ask a lot of agents, to a lot of them, it feels slower. And that's because some inventory isn't selling, or inventory in general isn't selling at quite the same rate that it's being brought to market. So inventory numbers overall have slightly gone up. I think I said it last week. I think they're up 1,000 units versus a year ago, 5,000 to 6,000. So it's not giant, but it's not insignificant either. Anyway, all that to say, if I'm a buyer right now, I don't have to hurry. I don't have to necessarily hustle. Let me say that it depends on the house, right? I've always said this. You guys have probably, if you watch this stuff, you've heard me say it a bunch of times. If you put a house on a 10 scale, 8s through 10s on a 1 to 10 scale, they sell, and they sell relatively quickly, and they get the money, no matter what's going on in the market. They just do. threes, or let's say fours through sevens, that depends. That depends on how you're priced, and that depends on market conditions, much more so. And then the bottom 1 through 3, let's say, the houses that need a whole bunch of work or fixers, whatever it is, they're even more influenced by the market. So they just don't sell when the market's not ridiculous. Even the 1s through 3s were selling in 2021. Just how it was. And that's not typical. Right now, what we're living in is far more typical, historically speaking. So, you don't have to hurry unless you're looking at an 8 through a 10. And if you are. I mean, if you're looking at a house that's perfect by every metric, yeah, you probably got to move on it because other people are recognizing also that it's perfect. If you're looking at a house that needs some love, some fixing, some attention, great. You probably have more time to make decisions and maybe more ability to have a negotiation around price and terms. So, anyway, I'll touch on this briefly. I mean, we'll probably talk about it more in the coming weeks and months, but the whole how we negotiate and how we get paid as an industry, all of that went into effect this week. So a lot of people in our industry are freaking out about it. It's not insignificant. I'm going to be the first to say that, but it's not. It's if you understand what it is and what it isn't, and you understand how to help people understand it, it's not a giant problem. Some people don't want to have a relationship with an agent. Some people just want to be transactional. They want to go to the car lot and look at cars. They want to go to open houses and look at houses. And they want to call the Zillow agent and have that guy or gal just go open a door for them. That's different in how that relationship is going to work going forward. But, guys like me and people like my team that tend to have a more relational business and are referred by, you have a friend or a family member that needs help and you send them our way. The engagement process isn't that different. It's just really where the commission conversation happens on the buy side that change. So I'm going to leave it at that because it can be a long conversation. If somebody wants to understand it more or has questions about it or concerns or comments, reach out. Let's talk about it. I've got a pretty good grasp on this, and I'm pretty sure I can help make you feel comfortable about it. Whether you're having us help you or not, I'm just happy to help with the information. Like I always said, good information leads to good decision making. It's true. Anyway, hey, I'll leave it at that. Like I said, the picnic was spectacular. Everything was perfect. The band was awesome as usual. The weather was fantastic. And then it turned on a dime. we actually had to start tearing everything down about 20 or 30 minutes early because it was blowing. I'll put a video out there with my post. I took kind of just a panorama as we're ripping things down as fast as we could. But you know what? It was fun, and it'll make for a great conversation for years to come. Anyway, it's an awesome time. I hope you saw the little video reel I put out on Instagram and Facebook. It was pretty cool, and you'll probably, if you get my email, you'll get it that way. But we had a great videographer come out and put together a nice little video montage. It was pretty cool, pretty fun. So anyway, thanks for everybody that came, and to those that have busy lives and can't make it, we hope to see you at our next one, which is coming up during the Thanksgiving season. So anyway, all that to say, we're here for you. The reason we do these things is so that we can maintain a sense of community, and so that that you know that we're here for you when you have something that you need in the real estate world, or you know somebody that has a need in the real estate world. We just want to be there to help. So do you know somebody? If you do, let's talk about it. Get them in touch with me. All right, you guys. Good stuff. And as I always say, till the next time.